So as 2024 picks up steam, I find myself thinking about where I really want to spend my time. And not just that, but where I could get a better bang for my buck, so to speak. Now, it doesn't mean that day trading can't get you a good return on your time. If you are profitable, it actually can be very, very good. And there are countless examples, even when you eliminate the fake traders, the fake gurus, etc. But in just a few minutes, you're going to understand exactly what I mean and then how this can actually impact your view on a lot of different things, not just when it comes to the market this year. Now, real quick, I do want to thank the sponsor for today's video, the like button. Yes, the like button is actually sponsoring this video. I never thought it could happen. But if you wouldn't mind going down, hitting the button, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to leave this video. You don't have to leave YouTube. Just the button. I appreciate it. All right, so I've been looking at things under two different lenses so far, at least the past couple of weeks. In the past couple of weeks, I've actually taken some time off. I haven't been live streaming. I haven't been trading. I haven't really been looking at as many charts because I was first off in Arizona on an amazing trip. Sedona, Flagstaff, Phoenix, did a freaking ultra marathon. It was awesome. And then went shortly like 2 days later, went to Montana with my dad and brothers, and we did our kind of annual ski trip out in Montana. We had like 3 days of incredible snow. It was the best skiing. I snowboard. It was the best snowboarding I have had in maybe my entire life. It was awesome. Great powder, just beautiful. Big sky is awesome. And now we're back. But those two different things that I was able to think about are, one, where do I want to spend my time? And two, where is my time best spent in a dollar per hour kind of output scenario, right? So where am I getting the best bang for my buck, the best return on my time investment right now? Where do I see that in the future? And is it worth changing that, or is it worth doubling down where I do currently receive a good bang for my buck? So to answer number one, where do I want to spend my time? Well, my computer's right here, camera's here. You can see that I'm in this chair, and if I'm live streaming, I'm also in this chair. And when I'm working, I'm also in this chair. So I spend quite a lot of time at my desk and computer already. And to be honest, if I had to choose, I'd rather spend more of that time outside in a gym or doing some sort of activity physically because I don't know, I just feel good. It makes me feel good and I like doing those things. So the question becomes, how do we do more of that ultimately, right? And hopefully this all makes sense by the end. But what that would mean is spend less time sweating it out over 5-minute charts. Like I don't need to be sitting here sweating out a 5-minute trade, right? If I want to spend less time at my desk, if that's like the way I view it, my view, what I want to do with my life. Everyone's different. Maybe you like your desk a lot more than being outside, and that's what you want to do, but I don't. And on top of that, recent data through tracking my trading progress, journaling, and all of my trades is telling me that timeframes of an hour and up are actually paying me pretty good. And so I'm actually getting a better return on my investment and time lately doing that. There was about a month where the 5-minute chart was actually better, but since it's kind of been the opposite, where the 5-minute chart has been less consistent and less profitable than the bigger time frames have been. So to answer number two, where my time is best spent on a dollar per hour basis, that feeds in, but also trading does not pay my bills, and it probably will never do so, no matter how successful or not I become. Hear me out here, because actually this is a really important concept. Why is that the case? Okay, car payments, insurance payments, rents, mortgage, food, payments like that, things that are not going away. Like you're going to have to pay to live, right? To do these things, you got to pay for insurance. Maybe you bought your car outright, so maybe you don't have a payment on it. Maybe you do. Most people probably do, whether you're leasing, you got a car, whatever, paying insurance. These are things, food, these are things that you're going to have to pay all the time, right? So they're kind of like your fixed costs, your fixed expenses. Like we all have them. They're all different for everybody. Maybe I can get mine down if I eliminate XYZ. Maybe you can get yours down. Maybe I'll increase mine if I make more money. I might slowly increase those things because maybe I'm buying maybe all organic foods and maybe I'm buying grass-fed steaks. And I'm like, you know what? I can pay for, the top of the line, pasture-raised organic eggs instead of the cage-free eggs, you know what I mean? Like those things can go up over time. I buy a new car, I want to lease a car, I want to get 2 cars, right? But they're still fixed cost, and you kind of know how much you make and how much your fixed costs are. You should at least generally every single month or every single year at least. But as a trader, even if you are consistently profitable for a long period of time, can you realistically budget on a month per month basis how much or what percentage of your income is going to go to those things? I firmly do not believe you can. Over long periods of time, consistently, anyone who says that you can, I think is kidding themselves and certainly kidding you. But why is that? You don't control the market. I don't control the market. Anything could happen today, this week, this month. You will have good months. You will have bad months. You will have green weeks. You will have red weeks. Even if you are consistent. In the past 12 months, I have been consistently green. But have I had a red month in there? I believe I had 1, maybe 2 red months over the past 12. I had some bigger months. I had some small months. I had some medium months. No month was the same, and there was absolutely no way I could predict how much I was going to make in a given month to cover XYZ expenses. So no matter how much money I was making, I can't predict it. Now, obviously, if you're someone who's been in the game for a long time, you've been profitable and you're trading $100,000 accounts, $1 million accounts, and your P&L swings are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars, even more, then yeah, as long as you don't have a red month, in theory, you could cover all your bases with, even a shitty month, right? A bad month. In theory, you could. Few people can do that, and few get to that level, but in theory, you could. The point is, even if you've been profitable for a long time, this is the nature of trading. If you view the market in I make X a day, I make X a month, consistent, I just don't think you've been trading long enough, or I just don't think you understand what you're even doing in the first place. And you don't understand, your psychology is just not congruent with a long-term consistent trader. From all the data, all the stories, all the people that I've seen stick around this game for a long period of time, we know their win rates are not very high. We know that the margins are not insane. They're not making 10x risk reward in every single trade, right? They're not risking $1 to make 10 every time and winning an 80% clip. And they have bad months. Some of the guys who've won these investing championships, they have months where they lose money. So again, if you're budgeting for these expenses, you don't have a consistent income. You just don't. So that all considered, the way I want to design my life is I want other income, in this case active, and it could be passive depending upon what it is. And some of it's passive for me, some of it's active, most of it's active, some of it's passive. And over time, I want to bolster the passive and, ultimately try to make more with the active. But right now, I want that money that I kind of know. Obviously, anything can happen. A business can go down. This could happen. You could lose a job. You can lose a client. That could happen. But generally speaking, I have more control over how much is coming in and the consistency of that money coming in, right? So that's the money that I want to use to pay for those expenses. I want to say, hey, if I know I make X from this business makes me $1,000, this job or this client pays me $1,200 a month, and that's my rent, boom, that's that. And that's this. And this way I can back my way in to okay, the bases are covered. Now the trading money is extra icing on the cake, and that can go to paying down debts if you have any debts, saving up for a house if you want to do that, or an investment or whatever, or throwing it into the stock market, into an investment portfolio with whatever you've got left, and maybe even bolstering a cash reserve if you wanted to. But that trading money ultimately goes into things that will make me more money or save me more money right now and make me more money in the future. And that's kind of how I want to play it. So even when you get to a point where, if I'm able to get to a point where I now have too much money coming in, let's say, I paid all the expenses, I saved, I invested a little bit, and now I've got, I don't know, 10K coming in because I got profits of 10K this month. What do I want to do with that? I want to use that 10K, taxes, of course, but I want to use that 10K to then make me more money passively or potentially actively, depending upon, what I want to put that money in. If it's an active upgrade to something that's going to make me more money, it's a computer, it's a car, it's I don't know, if you're, a real estate investor or you're a real estate agent, maybe you want to buy yourself a nice car because that might actually make you more money actively because people are going to view you differently. Like things like that, right? So you can look at it as an investment. I want to use that money from trading to then build up more active and passive income so that then I can, if I wanted to increase my lifestyle, I could, but who cares? But then I could then have more and more of that money actively get invested and then get built up and compound over time. Last thing I'll leave you with, on top of all that, there's this wild concept I've been thinking about. Now, this is probably going to blow your mind, okay? Hear me out. What if I traded only weekly charts, right? That would probably bring me down to 10 to 20, maybe 30 trades in an entire year. Instead of hundreds of trades in an entire year. But all things considered, if you're trading the same strategy, and if that strategy works the same across those timeframes, it may not, or let's say it's close, you would spend less time on the charts, less time in front of your computer, but you'd get a similar result. All you'd have to do is adjust your sizing accordingly. So if I take on average a trade a day, let's say that there's 20 days in a month, trading days, roughly. There's more, I think, but that's 20 trades in a month. But if I took one weekly chart trade in a month, why wouldn't I just take it at 20x the size of all those day trades or short-term trades? Right? Why not? You could. Crazy concept, but you could, and it would be cutting down on your screen time. So it all comes down to how you view things. I spend a lot of time on my screens. I get plenty of screen time, and if I want more, I can get more if I really wanted to. But from my perspective, I think that the move towards swings, feels better. The charts feel cleaner. They feel nicer to the way I do things. It aligns better with getting me outside more, especially as we're now moving into the spring and summer months. I want to spend a lot of that time outside, just in general. It's what I want to do. And the weather's nicer. Fair weather fan, yeah, I get it, but hey, it is what it is. Sun's out longer, might as well use it. And the bang for your buck right now seems to be lining up with my P&Ls favoring swings. So all that said, that's where my mind's at. We'll see how this year goes, but it looks as if we're not totally done with day trading. I'm not done. If I see something that I like, I'll do it. But the move more towards swings, I would say more than half the trades going forward, and they've kind of been that way the past couple of weeks. You've seen them on the trade recaps. We're moving that way, and I think it will be a positive change. We'll see. We'll document it. We'll journal it all. We'll have the data, and we'll see where we're at. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.